This was a very important game for the New York Rangers to come out on top and win this one, and that is exactly what they did. The Rangers have won Game 2 and have now tied this series up at 1, now heading down for Games 3 and 4 to Florida, but a very good and important win for the Rangers. You don't want to go down to Florida playing your away games for 3 and 4. Being down 0-2, tying things up here at 1 was very important. I don't think the Rangers necessarily played awful in Game 1. I mean, it definitely wasn't the prettiest performance by either team. I don't think either team played their best hockey in Game 1, but tying things up here at 1, going down to Florida now was a very important thing to do, and that is exactly what the Rangers did here in Game 2, getting the overtime win. So in today's video, we're going to take a look at this Game 2 as a whole and kind of talk more about this game in depth, as well as this whole entire series as a whole. Starting off here, taking a look at the New York Rangers lineup changes, because they did make a few line changes here going into the Game 2 here after they lost Game 1. So we saw Filip Chytil make the move from the third line where he was previously up to one of the top 6 lines there, playing that right wing spot alongside Kreider and Zibanejad. The other top 6 line there, the Panarin, Trocheck, and Lafreniere line. That line stayed the exact same. And then for the third line there, we saw Will Cuylle, Alex Wennberg, and Jack Roslovic, who was alongside Kreider and Zibanejad. He drops down to the third line. Kaapo Kakko gets taken out of the lineup. He was a healthy scratch. And then we see for the fourth line there, Jimmy Vesey, Barclay Goodrow, and Matt Rempe. He gets put back in the lineup there. The decor stayed the exact same, but Rempe getting at it in there. Obviously, he's not the most talented player in the world, but we know what he brings. He brings that physicality, that energy, and he can definitely fire up the crowd with pretty much anything he does on the ice. It doesn't really matter what he does. He wins a face-off, crowd goes wild. He makes a hit, crowd goes wild. He does anything on the ice, the crowd goes wild. Rempe is a great energy guy to have up there, and that's exactly what he showed in this game. Starting off here in the first period now, I think the Rangers as a whole kind of had a much better start than Game 1 against the Panthers, where they kind of looked slow, didn't have the forecheck really going, and then Game 2 there, we saw the forecheck, doing a lot better job there, a lot more energy, a lot more buzz with this team, which is exactly what you want to see to start off Game 2 after being down, 1-0 in the series at home. You want to see the guys play with a bit more energy, a bit more fire, and that's exactly what they did to start Game 2 there. With about 4 minutes and 12 seconds into the first period there, Vincent Trocheck scores the first goal of the game on a nice tap-in goal backdoor from a great pass by Adam Fox, also assisted by Artemi Panarin. Lafreniere had a nice little hit in there as well. I think overall that was a pretty great goal by the Rangers to get off on the right foot this time and go up 1-0 for the first time in this series. Score the first goal of the series as well for the Rangers, which is a good sign there. Obviously in Game 1, you get shut out 3-0. The offense had some chances but couldn't find the back of the net, and they find the back of the net pretty early on within the first 5 minutes of this game there. So a great start for the Rangers, and after that goal happened, we did see a little bit of a kind of scuffle there, you could say. A few guys kind of going at it, but Rangers end up on the power play, but unfortunately could not score after that goal happened to make things 1-0 Rangers. And about halfway through the first period, we see a pretty late and questionable hit by Dmitry Kulikov. I would definitely say this was dirty on Alex Wennberg there. He catches him right in the head. Obviously, there's some head contact. It was only given a 2-minute penalty for interference. I was pretty surprised that it wasn't a 5-minute. He makes a lot of contact with the head there. It was quite late. I think it probably should have been a 5-minute there. It ends up being a 2, though, unfortunately, for the Rangers. They did not end up scoring on the power play, and after that kind of penalty kill happened there for the Panthers, it kind of seemed like the momentum kind of shifted towards them as well, so definitely wasn't a good situation at all for the Rangers. With a late hit on Wennberg there, he was definitely shaken up, and the overall just kind of momentum did shift towards the Panthers after that PK as well. And with about 2 minutes and 50 seconds left in the first period, Barclay Goodrow takes a 2-minute penalty for interference. In my opinion, I kind of thought it was a bit of a soft call there, honestly. I think especially for the playoffs as well. I mean, you don't normally kind of see that called, but it is what it is there. A bit of a soft call in my opinion, but they get a power play, and unfortunately the Panthers end up tying this game up at 1 on this power play as well. As Carter Verhaeghe makes a little move around Alex Wennberg there, he kind of slides into the shooting lane. Carter Verhaeghe takes a shot and beats Igor Shesterkin low to tie things up at 1. Assisted by Sam Bennett and Anton Lundell on the power play. Then we see going on now to the second period. Rangers definitely did not have a great start to the second there. Panthers I did a lot better, honestly, to start that period. Rangers didn't have a shot for a very long time in the period there. I think it was over 11 minutes or so where they didn't have a shot at that moment. So definitely not a good situation there in the second period. But then we saw once the Rangers finally got their first shot off, a few more chances came right after that. One, for example, was the Alex Wennberg hitting the crossbar. So Not the best start, but once they got that first shot off, then things kind of definitely looked a lot better for the Rangers. But in that period, we ended up seeing 0 goals scored for either team. And now taking a look at the third period, where once again, there were no goals scored in this period for either team. Some solid chances both ways, but neither team could score. Rangers had a power play, but overall the power play has not been too effective for the Rangers, unfortunately. So 0 goals scored in the third there, meaning we're going to overtime, tied at 1 for both teams there. And to start that overtime there, the Rangers definitely looked like the much better team in that whole entire overtime, in my opinion. The Rangers put on some great pressure early, getting some good chances, getting some good, overall shots off as well. Definitely putting on some pressure on Bobrovsky and the Panthers. Then we see, though, a huge chance for the Rangers to potentially win the game there, with Philip Heel getting a great scoring chance, having a pretty much wide open net for the most part there. But Oliver Ekman-Larsson makes an incredible block shot there to keep this game tied at 1. But then, not too long later, we end up seeing a phenomenal pass up, a nice little chip up into the middle there from Jacob Trouba from his own zone as he takes a hit to make a play, and that is exactly what Trouba did there. Great pass up by Troubs there. Goodrow makes a nice little, hand-to-eye coordination play there in the neutral zone. He bats the puck down, passes over to Trocheck. Trocheck gives it right back over to him, and Barclay Goodrow unleashes a beautiful snipe, and he gets one right past Bobrovsky to get the overtime game winner and to be the hero for the New York Rangers. Barclay Goodrow has been an absolute beast so far in these playoffs. He's got 4 goals in 12 games played. He had 4 goals in 80 games played in the regular season. Barclay has been absolutely phenomenal. You can say what you want about his contract, but so far in the playoffs, he has done his job and has done so quite well. This is a guy with a ton of playoff experience. And what a clutch moment for a guy like Barclay, who is a veteran leader on this team. He's obviously a guy who can play center, play wing, be a good penalty kill guy, solid two-way player. He's a fourth liner making $3.6 million, so he definitely does get hated on sometimes because of his contract may not being the best overall value, but for what he's done so far in these playoffs, he is earning every single penny, every single cent he is getting out of that contract, and I am very happy with what we've seen so far in the playoffs. 4 goals in 12 games played, getting a clutch overtime game winner like this is making that all worth it, which is exactly what you want to see. And right now, Barclay Goodrow has 12 games played in the playoffs, 6 total points. Being half a point per game as a fourth liner, being a penalty kill guy as well, that is pretty phenomenal to see. So he's definitely been absolutely amazing. But carrying on now and taking a look at some other things here, for example, the special teams, which has not been good at all. Unlike Barclay, the special teams has not been too good. The power play went 0 for 4 in Game 2 here and 0 for 2 in Game 1 for a total of 0 for 6 so far in Games 1 and Game 2 against the Panthers, which is not too good at all. It is obviously normally a strength for the Rangers, and so far, it has been pretty terrible. And the penalty kill has been quite a bit better than the power play, going 4 for 5 so far in Games 1 and Game 2 combined, 3 for 3 in Game 1 there, and 1 for 2 in Game 2. So, not too bad. 80%, 4 for 5 is not terrible. You'd like to see it be a bit better, but overall, 80% is quite solid, especially against a team like the Panthers. And the power play, though, on the other hand, has been quite terrible, 0 for 6, so definitely need to see that improve over these next few games. And now talking about Matt Rempe. This is a guy who obviously is not the most gifted player offensively or defensively. He's not out there to really score goals or, be elite defensive forward there. He's out there to play physically and get this team and crowd energized, and that's exactly what he does. Whenever he's out there on the ice, whatever he does, whether it's winning a faceoff back, making a hit there, doing anything, touching the puck, he gets the crowd fired up, and obviously that gives some life and energy to the team, and that's exactly what he did this game in Game 2 there. I think he needs to stay in the lineup there. He's a great player to have just to energize the crowd, get the crowd into it, and especially, being away now in Florida, having a physical guy like that out there definitely cannot hurt this team by any means. I think as a whole in this game, the Rangers played, pretty solid. The forecheck was doing a lot better. They played a lot less time in their own zone. I think overall, have some good scoring chances, ended up burying a couple there, ended up with the game winner in overtime by Barclay Goodrow. And the last thing here, unfortunately, we did see Jimmy Vesey leave this game due to an upper body injury, so hopefully he is healthy for Game 3 on Sunday. But if not, I'd imagine Capo Caco will take his spot. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed this video, please smash the like button. It would mean a lot. It definitely helps with the channel. If you are a Rangers fan, don't forget to subscribe for daily New York Rangers content. I post every single day. And also don't forget to comment down below your thoughts on Game 2 here. The nice win by the Rangers in this entire series as a whole. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.